All right, welcome everybody to our second episode of Marysville People in the Know podcast. We are so lucky today to be welcoming some new guests. We've got over here.
Hi, I'm Cody Adams. I am a local realtor and Marysville resident with First Choice Partners Group and Coldwell Banker Realty, and my partner,
April Sheldon, realtor with First Choice Partners Group and Coldwell Banker Realty.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us today. So I know April, you've grown up here just like me. So how has it been watching the development change up around here?
It's been really surprising. I'm fourth generation Marysville, so I'm very proud that I had a lot of my family around me for all these years. My family's local crop farmers, so we kind of lived here forever. We just don't leave. But the stories my grandma used to tell me about this exact building right here being a hotel, and
Wait, what?
It was, yeah, burned down.
It was a hotel.
It was a hotel back in the time. I mean, I believe it was this building right here. It used to be a hotel, and then it caught fire a long time ago, and they rebuilt.
Right here on the corner?
East right here on the corner, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully I'm not incorrect, but that's how I was told about it. But I do know that either this building or that building right there, but I really feel like it was this building used to be an old hotel.
I could see like this corner shop being a lobby. What about you, Cody? Where are you from?
I'm actually originally from Circleville, Ohio. So about 50 minutes down south, the Circleville Pumpkin Show. It's not a festival, the Pumpkin Show. That is where I am born and raised.
Once a year?
What? Once a year. It always starts the third Wednesday of October. It's my favorite time of the year. I love fall. Born and raised there, graduated in 2009 from Logan Elm High School down in Circleville. And then I moved here shortly after I graduated for work and got a job at Honda. Worked there for 12 years until I left in 2020 to pursue real estate full time. And I've been licensed since 2018.
Nice.
And I love Marysville. Moved to Dublin for a short while. I was way too busy. And Marysville, I came back and have purchased many homes here. And it always brings me back.
Yeah. I like it. I guess I know Cody from Honda as well. It kind of was convenient. I was like, hey, I know both of these guys. But yeah, and you said, Jason, that you're from Worthington, right?
Yeah, so originally grew up in Worthington, and then around, I think, 2013, I just decided I need to buy a house somewhere. And so I bought my house down on Industrial Parkway, and I've been there since 2013, so about 11 years.
So what made you decide to buy a house in Marysville?
I was just kind of a fan of the property, and you could get at that time a lot more. Yeah, you could get a lot more for your dollar than staying in the Columbus area. So I was like, you know what, it seems like a longer commute, but then when I actually factored it out, getting into Columbus for work took the same amount of time as driving through Columbus to work. So my commute wasn't any longer, and I got more bang for my buck.
Which is great.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the only non-homeowner here a little bit.
I recently actually bought a home with my fiance. I bought a home. What's your guys' thoughts on like the home market right now? Like the price of everything, just the rates. I mean, who's buying, who's not buying? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think this year is going to be an excellent year actually for a lot of buyers. We've seen in the past where the interest rates were so low, which a lot of buyers, that's what they paid attention to, right. But it drove that craziness in the market to have all these buyers. And that was a little bit different because it's pushed us kind of into a buyer's market then. But now
we're actually in both still a buyer and seller's market. There's great profitability and proceeds that can be made from someone who has purchased their home. I know a lot of the younger generation freaks out over the pricing that they currently see.
Because it's too high.
It's too high. However, this is part of economics and inflation, and this is how the world revolves. Back then, if maybe your parents bought a home in the 90s, that home was probably $80,000 then, but look at the price now.
Yeah.
And you need to think that even though those prices are going to happen to you too, it's just going to take some time. However, COVID really put a huge factor into many things when we thought the housing market was going to crash. and it did a complete opposite. We had the best sales ever, which was in the midst of COVID, and home prices are going to continue to rise, and keep going from there. Even though interest rates are higher, you can always refinance later down the road. We cannot guarantee when those rates are going to come down. However, you can always lock in the price of the home now, but refinance later at a lower rate, because the price you're paying for the home now is just going to continue to climb.
Right.
So if you wanted to wait probably another year, you may be paying anywhere between 3 to 8% more on that home.
Like annually?
Yeah, year over year increase.
And you got to think when those interest rates start to come down, then all these buyers come out of the woodwork. So instead of paying now where you might have just a little bit of, other buyers that are looking and buying with you, you might have more like 25 to 30 on the same house like we had during the COVID times. But so again, now is a great time because a lot of buyers have taken a step back or rented and things like that. And so therefore it's a great time, I think, in my opinion, to buy and sell.
And in Marysville, when you have a home right now and it's priced under $350,000, it's still a competitive market. And however, right now the inventory of those homes are very slim. Just today, there is only an active inventory of 27 homes within the city limit of Marysville, which is, just myself and amongst other agents, I have almost 200 buyers looking for homes just here in the city of Marysville. Right. So, and right now, even with those home prices versus COVID at lower rates, you can do more negotiation power on a home right now because of the higher rates and the higher prices. There you can ask, potentially, not every property, but you could go in for closing costs, home warranties,
right? There's some
rate buy downs. You can buy down your rate.
Yeah. With your professional opinion, of course, should someone buy a house right now? Like with the market the way it is, the economy the way it is, the way kids are right now growing up, everyone like me, especially, I'm only 21, but should people my age be buying homes or renting? What is your advice on that?
So in my opinion, for Marysville, I believe the median rental is actually about 1,800 to 2,000. If you're looking in subdivisions, you're getting a lot more like 2,300, sometimes even 25 if it's a newer build or more updated, which sounds insane.
Does.
But that is where we are right now in Marysville. And these people that are renting, they're coming up with these numbers because of other people that are renting the similar homes. So why would they put them on for 1,200? And realistically, the mortgage is probably higher than that.
So, just to hop in real quick, how do you justify that high rate?
So I'm a landlord. I have a new listing that I just listed. And in my opinion, when I bought it, before I even knew what the comps were in the neighborhood being rented, I knew that area would probably get around $2,000. I was able to then, because of my background, find 5 other properties that were in that exact neighborhood that were either the exact same floor plan or similar bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. That were actually between 21 and 24.
To be clear, the market's going to establish the cost, and then the landlord's going to make a decision based on that.
The housing market is all about supply and demand. When the demand is there, supply and pricing increases.
Right.
And just like we're seeing in the housing market and also into the rental market, as these home prices are increasing, the rental market's going to increase with it. And it's not always necessarily about that landlord making profit. You also need to take into consideration that we've seen recent tax spikes, the cost of everything, the cost of replacement. All of that stuff needs to be taken into consideration when you are renting a home. Right. And unfortunately, while not everyone may damage a home, those are consequences and things that need to be thought of that justify that price of, what is going to have to be replaced when that person moves out, especially wear and tear items as well.
Yeah.
And right now, while people may not see that Marysville is affordable, it still is. It is the same as like when he purchased his home in 2013. We are still.
The cost of living is actually 3% below the national rate.
Really here?
Yeah, and you got to think when those, as Columbus and the outskirts such as Dublin, Worthington, Howe, Lewis Center, when all those prices skyrocket, it's driving people out and pushing them up.
Right.
And it's that 33 corridor that pushes people up.
Yeah.
And in Marysville, you come from Dublin, now you go to affordability in Marysville, and you're starting to see this effect happening now towards Bellefontaine and Logan County. It's the wave. It's going up the 33 corridor, and it's just going to continue to go up.
I can see
I
that.
do a lot of business in Logan County, and they're starting to see large developers, such as what we have in Marysville.
The never-ending Mill Valley.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that because Marysville needs growth. It needs more homes. It needs more rental properties, but it
No one
needs.
can see me, but I'm agreeing.
There's so many people that'll listen to this and say, "No, we don't."
You know what? We do.
We need a skating palace.
Oh.
But we need sustainable growth. We need the infrastructure to go with the growth. And however, I do think the city is starting to address some of those issues. Right now, the city has good intentions. They're bringing many jobs, good paying jobs. Honda's a huge contributor. Scott's, Continental. There's the new industrial parkway innovation park that is bringing more jobs to that as well.
The hospital.
As a city, we cannot rely on these major corporations to come in and save our city and our community. At a certain point, the government has to step in and say, hey, we're going to be the ones that are going to be helping the community and these small businesses
I
and
feel
our
like
city
30
function.
years ago, we depended on Scott's, Honda, in the prison mainly. Yeah, but growth. Just what we said, like it's those private businesses are wanting to come in. They want to employ the people here. Yeah.
That also comes at its own cost.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important for people to recognize that, yes, most of our businesses that are coming here are small businesses. We need to learn to support local. Amazon's so easy to just order whatever you want. I'm guilty.
Guilty.
And it's there in 2 days on your front door. But you've got these mom and pop shops that depend on you making that 5-minute drive and picking up your meat pieces at Minerva's Amish market that's right down the way.
Mosier's. Yeah. Okay. Hey!
I want some free steaks out of this.
But yeah, you've got Plum Homes that's right down the way over here, and they have the
God bless Plum Home.
Plum
Homes. Yeasty Boys. Yeasty Boys.
Yeasty Boys.
But again, it's those small businesses that really keep our community growing and keep us feeling like a small business, because you know that what you buy is directly impacting that family that runs it.
I like to give back. Like, we support local youth league, football, softball, baseball, soccer. The small businesses are the ones who put their names.
Yes,
And
yes,
even
they are.
Realtors are small businesses. We might have our brokerages, but it's our name, not our brokerage.
Yeah.
And we support these other little places.
We can plug my mom's good old ceramic shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. She
one
of the original small businesses of this town, I think.
I mean, I spent a lot of hours in my youth there, and it was just a good place to go, a safe place to go.
Yeah.
To be creative, and I feel like we don't have that many places for kids right now.
No. She was like the honorary babysitter, all the 4-H and FA kids. Yeah, at the fair, she was like, everyone knew they would be at Deb's. And and those small businesses, they're crucial to this town.
In the area you guys were talking about where these homes are so pricey, what is the appeal? What's the draw? What is there to do there? I mean, the houses cost so much. It's pretty, it's nice. There's the price. What are you going to do when you're not at the home? What is there to do? Are you
talking about specifically Marysville? We're going east or west?
Just everywhere, really.
Community. In my opinion, community is everything.
I have moved so many clients from Columbus or like the Hilliard, Grove City. We have a small town feel.
Right.
That's what people move here for. And when I left Circleville, I was 18 years old, excited to get out of a small town. And people drive here for hospitality. we have a good good downtown.
Marysville?
And while it is a small downtown, like especially skating,
That Mary on Main.
yes,
That's so fun.
I have so many clients who I sold a house to, or Uptown Friday night. Like April and I'm Uptown Friday night. Yeah, you're even wearing the shirt right now.
No. Show it.
Show it.
Yeah,
Show it.
but that's fine.
Yeah, that is.
All events should be Friday night.
Uptown Friday night.
All events.
Yeah.
Yay!
We love that event.
We love it. So,
Yeah, we serve beer at the beer tent.
while I love the downtown of Marysville, it does lack necessary parking. And
So bad.
Yes.
We all can
it
agree.
We can
does.
all agree on
I said it last week. We need a parking garage.
You did bring
This
that up, yeah.
drives the traffic into your storefront, and unfortunately, as small business owners, while you are making profits, that's how you stay in business. We don't want you to spend profits because you are downtown. You are restoring the history of what the town offers
Trying to
and
revitalize
providing
it.
a service. Correct. We don't want to see you go out of business trying to get the business.
Just because some
That makes
bank
sense.
paid
Yeah.
$200 to have their thing in front of you, right?
But I mean, for like the actual booth sections they can rent, not right in front of the building. I mean, you've got other vendors that are setting up things. In
Yeah,
the
you can
main
have
strip. I
vendors
think
and
that's
stuff.
worth that for the price, in my opinion.
You think the
So wait,
site
do you-
alone?
Do the storefronts pay that too?
I didn't realize that, though. He's saying
Yes.
Oh,
I am not sure what they do in Marysville. I am not sure with that, but I would not be okay with a storefront.
they can't move.
Or nor would I promote another business taking up a residing business's storefront, maybe possibly preventing traffic from entering their door.
Right.
Now, I think it's perfectly fine because we pop a tent up in the parking lot over here. Totally fine. You're in a parking lot. Set up a tent, promote your business.
Yeah.
Buy some gutters.
Next week, we're going to be talking to our mayor here in Marysville, Donald Berger. So that one's going to be a fun discussion.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in next week. Right here in front of us, we've been sitting here eyeballing them this whole time and not told you guys. Yeasty Boys has given us these are like coffee cake muffins, and then they're fresh croissant rolls.
It
We're gonna-
looks amazing.
Yeah, you guys ready to try some? We got plates here.
It's a very good time for buyers and sellers. Interest rates are supposed to be coming down a little bit into a more reasonable price, and that's going to drive the market up. And if you're not able to buy or sell, there is a lot of local awesome landlords that do have their properties available.
And really care.
And yeah, we are just regular people like you guys that have an extra house that we're willing to rent, and so we are. And while you're renting, you can start working on building that credit and getting the deposit so you can buy your own home.
Yeah, that deposit. All right. What about you, Cody?
Yeah, I would love to help anybody buy or sell. Marysville's a great community. You know, I always tell people you always need a realtor who knows your community, who stays involved in your community. I think it's important that you know what you're getting into. And if you ever have questions or if you want to really look and see where the market's going to be in the future, call one of us and we can show you in a comparison on what it's going to cost you to wait, if you wait to buy or whether you choose to rent.
We're glad to
Thank
be
you
here.
guys.
Yeah. All right. Like Jason said, we've got the mayor next episode. So don't forget to tune in and see how that goes.